Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day, we're the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wanderers.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator, and Warnie, you're up and about.
Isn't he
Wouldn't
just?
he be? We've got through that first week of the boys.
Yes, one down.
And now it turns into dog time.
Dog time. When isn't it dog time?
I'm excited about spending some cash.
Took a hit, though.
You always said you were.
Small hit. A small hit.
Small hit.
Yes, a green vest. You wear one of those
Yep.
for not wearing them ever again.
Well, we'll see about that, dog.
Exciting times for our Warn Dog and his worn chest, by the sound of things.
It did suck a little bit for the Warn Dogs. 1848, although I'm going to call that relatively par for my sort of team because I think I dropped about 100 spots or so. So it was about where I needed to be. But I didn't move up like you, Destroy.
No, I moved up 200 spots, which is it's a big jump. I haven't jumped like that for a few weeks. So 1947 got me up to 351st.
1903 for me, which means I was the best trader for the week.
Yeah,
no,
jumped
you
up
weren't.
the most.
I was. I jumped up the most.
Oh, right. That's how it works.
Up 2,000 spots.
Hey,
2,000
you
spots.
flicked that switch. You said you flicked it.
That's
The
it.
fact that you can move 2,000 spots in a week.
I know. Look, Roy only moved 200.
You're much better.
Yeah, way better week.
No, you
mate.
should be happy with
Good
that
on
in
you.
1903.
Well, and with a worn chest as well, dog.
Moving in the
Yeah.
right direction.
Actually, my worn chest is $1,000 higher than your chest. So put your chest away.
I was here thinking morning, must.
No.
Oh.
$1,000 more. You try to do everything better, but
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see how it comes out in the watch this week because you'll be without Clarkey.
No, I know.
I know.
That
That's
hurts
a
you.
huge concern.
Yeah, there's a big concern.
There'll be a bit going on. All right, let's get into these.
Here it is! That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
I am going with the big fella, Bonds. Now, the Bonds, look at him there. How'd you go, big fella? I had a good day, Calvin. Yeah. So,
He's back.
159.
Ask him if he's back.
Now, are you back? Yeah. Right. So he's back, right? That's his highest ever score.
Yeah.
I went back
Let's
through the
go.
data. I think there was a 158 in there. No one saw this coming, though, did they?
They should have made him VC, Cal.
I should have made him
Oh,
VC.
that would have been nice.
Next week.
Good on you, mate.
Yep, good work. I'm going to go with mine. Saturday night, I was watching the Tigers up against the Cats. Shocking game to watch, but early on, my mate Bakes got a handball, got a tackle in there, I think it was.
Yep,
or
was.
something.
6 points.
6 points, then went off the ground.
And I was like this.
Oh, man. Anyway, he's gone off the ground with what, Dr. Nick Riviera down on the boundary saying, it's a hamstring.
Oh, no.
Came back out after 12 minutes, though. Dominated. Ended up with, there was basically 6 points, sat for 12 minutes, scored 31 in the last 8 minutes of that first quarter. Nothing wrong with that. It's
a fair recovery.
It was, a bit of a corked backside.
Yeah.
Buttock.
Oh, was it?
It was.
He came out and had 112. So, while it's not a huge score, I didn't have many huge scores in my team, but I will take that because you got a -3 last week, so I'll give him a little bit of positive.
It's 106 more than what he was going to get.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
no,
well
I'll
done,
take
well
that.
done.
No, it's a great comeback. Well done. Now, my boy,
Yes.
Clarkey. Oh, my goodness. Now, back in the Geelong days, we used to talk about the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes.
Well, Clarkey and Luke Ryan have got a little bit of Globetrotter going on back there. 15 marks he took in his 151. Now, I remember back a few weeks ago, Clarkey averaging 90-something, but hadn't hit 100.
Yep.
He's hit 3 massive hundreds in a row to average 140 in that time.
He's been one of the best picks of this year.
You're damn right.
Not good. Hey, Faves.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Can't all be positive. Oh, Butters, mate, you started my round like it basically finished.
It's nothing worse.
I'm a loser.
Thursday night.
Well, they are.
Finally, you worked
Port
it out.
suck.
Yes, they do.
Port suck.
They do.
To let Carlton beat you. But Butters, to let a piece of bread, Chincotta, come and sit on you.
Chincotta.
Not good for
Did a
him.
great
It's like-
job.
It's like he's bloody gluten intolerant or something there because that butter didn't mix well with him.
No, it didn't.
And, it should actually be a good mix.
You would think
Chincotta
so.
and butter.
Nah.
I know.
Wasn't. So 74 points. But yeah, did set up a shocking start to the round for the Dogs, especially when he is unique in matchups.
Can we just rewind
Yep.
back to when Butters was untaggable on
That's right.
Thursday?
Yeah, I don't know about untaggable. That was the thing about him, though. Like, it was just at the stoppage, and he was a rag doll.
But we didn't see Chin Cotter as the man to do it. We thought
No.
Huey might have been the guy.
I do remember us flagging
Yes,
stoppage, though,
we
being
did.
a huge concern.
And here we go.
Who said he was untaggable?
Warn dog. I'm going to go to a guy who has been disappointing.
Yes.
Look, he's been great.
He's been
Oh,
flaccid.
you
He's
can't
been-
call him
No,
disappointing.
well, yes, it is
Last 2
disappointing.
weeks.
I am talking
Okay, fair
about
call.
Riley Boner, right?
Yes.
The Bonner.
60 points. He's got the last bye. He's got to be moved on at some point in between now and then. So I think the quicker we get rid of him, although I'm going to say the decision might be out of our hands come Thursday night selection, I think he's in serious doubt.
Oh, dear.
But when don't we ever
We've
say
said that
Every week
multiple
we say
weeks.
it.
No, he's in trouble.
I reckon he's in a lot of trouble.
Now, mine, we never expected massive things, but Clayton Oliver has been a little bit disappointing. So he's had a couple of nice matchups. He got 86 on the weekend, hasn't hit 100 in his last 4. What he has turned into for me is a bye round guy.
Yeah,
like
okay.
he can now go on his bye as
Fair
far as
enough
I'm
too.
concerned. Like it's not the long-term play that I thought it might be.
Just a bit of a use and abuse destroyer.
Unfortunately, yes, dog. Yes, it is.
Yeah, you can't just have a midfielder doing that.
No,
That's
you
at
can't.
the end of the day what it's about.
Clogging
isn't it?
up a spot. Yeah,
Clogging up a defensive spot.
exactly.
We need to get...
Yeah.
Tell you what, how many defenders... This is actually a Roy's Roll in 22.
Yeah.
Maybe this is some homework for next week's show.
Yes.
Is to do the Roll in 22 next week. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I
Okay,
think
we
people
could do
deserve
that.
a look.
But how that might look compared to the midfield versus defence, like, are you almost better off having a couple of defenders in the midfield?
Well, if you had the choice of adopting the top 6 out of either the defenders or the midfield to start your team with, which line would you take?
You know where you're going.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
What
Rightio.
has the world become? We flagged that in the preseason.
We did.
Say halfback's the new midfield.
We were all over it.
Little did we know.
We didn't know they're going to do this. Yes.
All right, the weekly winner was Flynn's team, Barney's Bums. Whoops. Right. Maybe I should have said bum.
said bum.
Scored
PG, dog.
Scored 21-73.
21-73.
That's a lot.
Well done. That's a big
That's a
score.
lot. Anyway,
That's a big score.
They won the week. The overall leader now is George's team, Hinton's Harriers. We're going to see moving time
We
now.
are.
Yeah.
It's moving time in the buys.
It's always interesting, isn't it?
And they got themselves into number 1 with a 1935. So, yeah, that's a good score.
It is. It must have just been up there anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. And then the Hat Watch, currently in 100th spot. Remember, the top 100 coaches get one of those nice hats to wear with your number on it. Walshy's Wizards 18. Bailey's team there is sitting in 100th spot. Cal, you beat them this week. They had an 18-9.
Oh, keep up there, Bailey.
Good work. Could
I
you
reckon
get thereabouts?
Yeah, you're going to be in the hat chat conversation
you
here soon.
reckon?
Yeah, I think you are.
I don't know about that.
Get on that podcast, Roy. Hat chat.
There you go.
I will. They've never asked me. Never
Now
been
you're-
in the mix.
Now you're in the mix.
Yeah, well,
might
there
be
you
one
go.
of those. All right, our votes are in for the Michael Barlow Medal. That's our cash cow of the year for round 12.
Oh, who we got here? First, oh, God, it's me. After trading him out last week, I was shattered when I missed out on 104 from Ollie Dempsey. So, rookies dominating during the buys is pure gold, and his 3 goals gets him 5 votes this week. He was outstanding.
On Sunday afternoon, Bodie Hewlin posted the highest score of his career. A game-high 13 marks helped him to 89 points and the 4 votes.
A couple of solid scores in a row for Harvey Gallagher gets him 3 votes. His 82 points were definitely helped by his extra midfield time. Those jobs that he's doing in there.
2 votes goes to Lonnie lad Riley Sanders. He scored 82 after a quiet start. I must admit, I love his tackling game, and he had an impressive 11 tackles in round 12.
And finally, 1 vote goes to Jeremy Sharp. He's been cracking rookie pick this year, extended his lead in the Michael Barlow Medal. Surely there, dog. you're not trading him out this
Well,
week.
he's got the bye. He's done his job, and he's been a welcome member of my team, and I can't wait to take him on the end-of-season trip. Now, he is on top, but we've seen Oliver Dempsey shoot up into fourth off the back of his 5-vote game.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
All right, a few things to get out of the weekend. Let's start there with James Harms and Vandermeer. Back on Friday night, that was. Hammies for them, so we'll note that for what's going to happen with the Dogs lineup. Tex on Saturday. Heard he's back. He was subbed out in the end, so that's going to be one because they've got a, what day? Thursday night game.
Thursday night,
so a little bit of a shorter turnaround for them, so I think he'll definitely be out, as will Matt Crouch. Now, AC... bit of a shoulder there, Calvin.
Yeah.
Going to miss some weeks, but there's some good sauce on that destroy.
There was very impressive.
good.
Now, this is what the sourcing is all about
It
in the
is.
fantasy community. Someone was on the flight that Matt was getting onto.
Yep.
His arm was in a sling. Now, I don't know if he asked permission to take the photo, but he's just quickly snapped Matt in the sling, put it out to the community, and broke the story before the journos.
Brilliant.
Journos. That took until Sunday.
Yep.
Sunday.
Keep up,
Snooze, you
fellas.
lose.
Keep up.
Journo of the year. Now, old mate Wilson, Darcy Roy,
Yes.
all clear on the concussion front because
Yeah.
he was able to
Get back
be
out there.
back out on the ground. So
Yeah.
he was all right. So should be okay for this week. Marshall,
Uh-oh.
at the end, Cow. You didn't see it, did you?
No.
Yeah, I saw
Pretty
that.
much waved off the doctors and just brought, a few questions there saying, should he be able to do that when he's copped a bit of a head knock?
Yes, he's allowed. Yes, 100%.
Especially if you've just bought him in.
That's it.
2 weeks ago, you copped a 60.
Doctors, go away. Yes,
He knew
exactly.
what he had
I don't
to
think
do.
there's any issue there, but
Nah.
delayed concussion.
Oh,
Cow.
don't.
now he's
Don't
hoping
start.
head injury. Dog,
No,
stop it.
No. Big row. He'll be good.
He'll be right.
Max King subbed out with a bit of a knee. He's had so much bad luck there.
He has.
He has.
AFL Fantasy Ambassador. Hopefully he's making his team better.
Well,
over that time.
there you go.
We'll have to tune in and check in with him at some point.
Sounds good.
Marlon Pickett, bit of calf soreness, saw him out at the game, subbed out there. Gave a bird on the way off.
Yeah, I love it.
I love a bird.
My Kelty Lafau, ACL.
Yeah, that sucks.
Very sad.
Been
and
great to watch.
Late in the game too. Like
Yeah.
it's just frustrating for him and the Tigers, whose injury list is long. And it's going to be interesting for them this week because they play the Thursday game again. They've got that short
Bit of job security for your
turnaround.
little sub man.
He might get on the field.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Geez, he wanted to be on the field when my mate
He's
Bakes
hungry.
was.
Yep.
So Bakes has corked arse.
Yeah.
He was like wanted to get out there and he thought he was in.
Yeah.
Good thing Bakes did go back out there because it meant that your mate sat down for another 2.5 quarters.
I'm not
okay.
the best lip reader, but one stage I thought he said leave him down there when he started warming up.
He would have.
He was keen to get out
That's
there.
what he's like, old Smithy.
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 Ollie Henry in that game, he had some hamstring awareness. So that's what we've got. All right, Lachie Hunter, he iced up his calf at half time and was subbed out for the D's, who got absolutely
Oh, my
thumped.
goodness. How's your tipping going?
Jordan Clark, was it cramp? Was it a corky?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm glad he's
Big
got a
ankle
week
injury?
off to rest it.
Right at the end of the game, so I think he'll be right.
He'll be fine.
I hope
He's
so.
had a hurt though if you hold him through this week and then he's out for a
Oh,
couple of
don't start.
This guy carries me and my team.
I know.
Big time.
Yep. There's 2 of us on his back right now. No wonder his legs are sore.
Exactly.
Kyle Langford hurt his hip. Wasn't doing a lot though either. And Sam Flanders. That was, the early first
That's
quarter.
concerning.
Ankle got looked after, strapped up, if you want to call it strapping up, and anything else that he might have
Yes.
copped to get himself back out there. And then he was good, obviously turned up. So
He's a great player.
He's a warrior after being out ill the week before too. So we can't afford. We don't want to lose these forwards that can actually play.
No,
that
definitely
can actually
not.
score something.
Now, Dog, I think you skipped past Jordan Dawson.
Oh, I did.
Because
I put him in there?
he was
Oh, there
hugely
he was,
relevant.
yeah, sorry.
Because after the Max experience last week with the last minute test, and then he went out there, there was hope that Dawson, after passing the test, would kill it as he has been.
I don't think you can just go because someone had a fitness test a week before, they'll go and score 150.
I believe it's probably different injuries on different bodies that they're testing, but that it appeared through scrolling socials they expected a similar result. But no, having a fitness test doesn't give you magical powers like we saw with Max. And Dawson, I don't think, played his normal role as a result.
Spent a bit of time forward later as well. That's probably with Tex out.
Yeah, true. And Nick's comments post-game, he spoke without actually saying it, but basically leading us to believe there's multiple sore spots
and he
he pushed through, and it was a gutsy effort to do so. So I don't know where that leaves him
All
for
eyes
this week.
on Wednesday night team selection.
Well,
Thursday.
that's it.
Time.
It's a short turnaround for him as well.
But he's a tough unit.
He's a tough
and
unit.
He is a leader, so he'll probably try to push through whatever he's got. But that score of 60 from the form midfielder in the competition.
With green matchups, Cow.
Yes.
It's it's an interesting position to be in.
Big time.
Right. Hopefully we've got them all. Subs, nothing really to talk about, but we'll get into tag watch. We talked about Butters there earlier on about copping that Chincotta tag. Is that his thing now? He sort of did the week before, didn't he?
It's Chincotta or Hewitt.
Yeah.
They could both do it. And they've got Zach Merritt this week. So you would assume one of them will go to him.
What's the TW? Trigger warning.
Tag watch.
Oh, tag watch.
This week. This week. That's our captain's note, mate. That's how I do it. This week.
this week?
Yeah.
Oh, is that not even tag watch?
No,
Not a trigger warning.
No, LW's last week. And then LY's last year. This is all captain notes, mate.
Hang on.
Shorthand
So what
writing.
is your TW?
This week.
And the heading is tag watch.
Yeah, just coincidence.
No, it's not. You haven't been on.
Check me notes. That's how I write it. Anyway.
Do you use the colour for that with your red colour, 4-colour pen?
It's just on a note like that, it's either blue or black, just stock standard.
Jeez, wow, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're right.
Inside the mind.
Great podcast.
Because I was looking at it going, okay, you've called it tag watch. Yeah, cool, original. And then, just in case we didn't know that what we were reading about, you were putting it after each thing.
So Merit TW stands for
tag watch.
Merit this week.
Why did you need to say this week?
Just so you know who he's playing this week. Anyway, let's go through
I assume that's what it would have been anyway.
Well, you don't know.
Because it was called tag watch.
Where's NW? Next week.
Next week. Very rarely
We
write
wouldn't
that.
put that in there. So what? So what's the point of this week?
Just stick to the script.
Right.
Right.
After Butters and
good
Chincotta,
section,
we talked about
So,
Nick Dacos.
yes.
He copped Gallagher. So
Well, he
TW Roy.
Yeah.
Zorko or Neil.
Who gets it?
Z or N.
Tim Watson?
I don't know.
Oh,
Oh, no, it's not an issue. Sorry.
He goes to Neil.
Right.
I think so.
I think so.
Hope he goes to Zorko.
Windhager.
No, but he's more a midfielder though. That's
I
the thing.
think
That's
so.
what
That's-
because his CBAs are increasing.
Yeah,
that's
they
what
were.
his role and job is being.
Yep.
Windhager.
Windhager went to Harley Reid late in the second half. And this week, TW, he's got Noah Anderson. So surely he goes to him.
I reckon.
And the last one we get...
keep the roller
Yeah,
coaster going for Noah.
exactly.
And we get James Jordan back.
Yeah.
Who has Geelong. So that has to be Tom Stewart, doesn't it?
Well, there's no one else you'd really target in the
I don't
team.
know if
Do
he
you
could go...
even want to target
But
Tom
that's
Stewart?
that is a thing as well.
Does he go to Holmes?
Where is that game?
That
In
one
Sydney.
is... Yeah, SCG.
I feel like Holmesy's just not well enough known outside the fantasy community yet.
And I
to
don't know
get
if
tagged.
Jordan can run with him anyway. So, yeah, Stewart, easy target.
Yeah.
TW this week.
MRO, a couple of big ones there that is the talk of this week.
Oh, I reckon.
Sam Darcy got 2 weeks. Second favourite for the
Yeah.
Rising Star. And the favourite for the Rising Star, Harley Reid, 2 weeks. They might have a little bit of a challenge just to change the grading of it, but he goes. He
Yes,
gets suspended.
he does.
Like, I don't think there's... Even if it stays at 2 or it goes down to 1, he's still suspended. And I think with that too, he's a trade. It's just time for him to go anyway, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that right?
He had a good...
Since when is it called the Rising Star and Fairest? Surely you can cop a couple and still be the best young
with you.
kid in the comp.
Yeah. I'm a fan of that.
So Harley Reid, I guess he just has to go, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
He does.
And
Gotta go.
I can't see him getting off that in any
No
format.
chance.
No.
Despite
chance.
a few people cheerleading pretty
I
hard for
reckon.
him.
And I understand why. Like,
The Eagles supporters are
it's like...
they're passionate.
I know, and fair call, because they haven't had a lot to be excited about. But look at what it's left with Bont, how Bont didn't win Rising Star. It just follows you through your whole career when clearly you were the standout.
Yep.
This is going to happen again here.
Who was Bont's Rising Star?
It was
That Brisbane
yeah,
guy.
who then went to Sydney. Louis
Taylor. Oh, please.
No offence to him, though.
No offence, Louis, but
Bond's still going pretty strong.
Yeah.
159.
he's doing all right.
Yeah, Lewis Taylor, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good players in that that Rising Star year.
Yeah.
Josh Kelly was there. Matt Crouch was there. Zach Merritt was in that one.
Man,
Bond.
that's strong.
It is a very
Louis must have had a cracking season, Roy.
God damn, he did.
Yeah.
Dylan Buckley.
Bucks.
He was the second nominee.
Good podcaster.
Yep.
Yep. He's
Australia's second favourite podcast, that one.
Yeah.
Some great names there.
There's some great names in there.
Jake Lloyd. String Trick.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It's not up there with Walsh's year, but it's still a good one.
It is.
Some old names for our fantasy footy too. Our rookies. Remember Rovat? Nathan Rovat?
Yeah, how could you forget the rat?
The rat.
He was
The
there.
original rat.
Yep.
All right. Moving along. Back on track.
Get on the script.
Where
Doc.
are we?
Yeah, up to
We're
Magoo's.
We just had a look at those guys getting rubbed out and Magoo's news.
Oh, yes. We love Magoo's use. Who's still got Housey? Cow, you moved him, didn't you?
I got rid of him, dog.
Yep. 32 disposals, 9 marks and 129 points.
Oh,
and after
wow.
the rabble that the Deeds were,
Oh, they were bad.
maybe he's a chance to come back in. Now, Brad Crouch, Roy, you're telling me that they reckon he's another couple of weeks away from
but
playing
I
one.
cannot see it.
What are they doing to him to let him get 30 disposals, 12 tackles, a goal, and 125 points?
I really don't know,
Surely.
to be honest.
Surely.
Like, they didn't want to rush him back. I understand that. But surely that indicates he's ready to go.
Yeah, it does.
Now, they're coming off a win. You know, teams don't tend to
but
make...
were they that good?
No, that's the flag here.
Garcia, for anyone, still holding there. 13 disposals, 13 tackles and a goal for 93 points. If Schoenmaker could be a chance, he scored a ton with 26 disposals and 6 marks. Now, Setterfield, if he... Well, he's been in the twos for a bit now, but 28 disposals, 2 goals, 8 tackles, 132. There's not much more he can be doing
Good
there.
effort.
Big Finn McGuinness, been out for a while, which is nice because we haven't had to think about his... Oh, no, that's not that harsh, is it?
You're a career-wrecking, injury-wisher,
Oh, who does
bad dog.
Yeah, you are a bad man. But it's...
Who wants him, though?
I've missed that.
Now, the thing
He
is,
was
though-
obviously allowed to run and play normal footy again.
Well,
36 touches.
when he's playing, he's not tagging anyway.
No.
So
No.
the Hawks aren't really doing
Now,
it.
Cal, your Crows may need to make some changes. Well, they're going to have to make the change with Crouchy, and they might need a midfielder. Do we finally see Billy Dowling? So, 29 disposals, 8 marks, and 4 tackles for his 110. So, he's a 200k mid-forward. So,
his hat's in the ring now,
could
surely.
be one of those options for us for the week.
Yes.
Could be. Might play. That's Thursday night. Obviously, they play. Dan Curtin maybe gets a shot again. 21 disposals, 7 marks, 2 tackles, and 89 points. Do they just, play these kids now?
I think they've
Are
got
they
to
in
be getting
trouble?
close
Where
to that
are they,
point.
ladder-wise? Must be bad.
It's bad.
How bad?
Yeah, bad enough to probably start looking in a different direction.
Yeah, they haven't done 14th on the ladder.
Yeah.
Percentage is all right, though.
It's weird that they're not playing those dudes. But anyway.
Yep. Jai Cully, Cow, you've tried to grab him off the free agents.
I have, as a forward.
Yeah.
He's going to come in at some point, surely.
30 touches, a goal, 7 marks, 134.
Wonder why he hasn't come in.
Don't know.
But, Roy, you think that Clay Hall might get a game this week?
I think he'd be a chance. He was the whole preseason it was tracking towards him playing round 1, but he got that untimely injury. He's put together a few games in the waffle now. He's coming off 30 touches, 5 tackles, 100 points. I think he would be getting very close.
Agree.
And the other little bit of news there, Zac Reid injured his pec. So for all of us holding him on our pine,
He was close.
he's played a couple of good games in the twos, and unfortunately, he will probably miss some more now. with
Remains a
an
red
injury
dot.
Like that. He will be a red dot. What are your red dots looking like, V8, in your bench? Got a couple?
No, only him and old Harry Barnett.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably my only ones.
Caleb Smith. Oh, no, we'll get a game.
He'll
this
get a
week.
game, mate. Best on.
Rightio, we're into the third bye round, second bye round even. Round 13, that's where the 3 came from because 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Now, 13 is where we start moving. We start making some decisions. And what's the simple buy strategy? It is trade out players that might have a buy or a buy coming up for players that have had their buy. So bring in players that have had their buy and keep thinking that way. Like it feels like a silly thing to even bring in anyone, even a rookie, that has had their buy, that has a buy coming up.
I know. So ideally we're doing it via our fattened cash cows, but I don't know. Like my cash cows are getting pretty thin. Like mid prices are going to start getting cold here as well for premiums coming off that buy. But I think some teams are in such a position at the moment that we're going to get to a bit of so-called luxury trading.
Definitely.
In that round 14, 15, where if there's an underperforming premium, I think all our rookies will be pretty much off the ground by then anyway.
Yep.
And we'll be able to do a bit of straight swapping in the next couple of weeks, but not this one.
Well, let's go through targets then, essentially, and we'll think about the ones that we want in our side that might be there to help make it better and all that sort of stuff. So let's start in defence.
Yeah.
Roy, you've started making a list.
Well, I have. So
a shopping list.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Fisher in the forwards, but like I just put him there because for some teams over this best 18, the shuffle becomes extraordinary. All right, so we'll talk about him later. But for example, for me, he'll be in my defence this week. So Whitfield is a great one. Now, he started the season on fire. He's dropped off a bit the last few weeks, copped a tag and a few things here and there. But he's at a price now where I think I definitely tick off bringing in Lachie Whitfield. And this is one that I think you should consider, Cow. The Shees is now... The season has settled.
Yeah.
He's now a midfielder.
And he'll be all right as a midfielder.
I think he's like a 105 to 110 guy, not the 130 guy that he was at half back.
Yep.
That he was putting on your head.
Yep. But I think like this week or next, I think Shees is someone that should be on the radar for people that don't have him. And I think, like I said, the role is settled now and we know he's just a good mid.
Or
available down back.
Or you can continue to take him on.
Which I do not recommend.
Okay, well.
At all. Into the midfield. Now, this is where
there's so
I
many.
really like some names.
Yep.
Okay, so Green is the obvious cheap one. He is so far down on price for a guy that at stages in the preseason I had him projected number one this year.
Yep.
He's an absolute bargain. We all know that it's a stone throw from Jeremy Sharp. Makes me vomit.
Yeah. 761.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pure bargain. Obviously, it's going to be a hard watch for all of us that have held him and watch everyone get him for that price because it's extraordinary. But he is a great trade target, as is Errol Goulden, who I'd be launching into that as well if I didn't have him because I think he's a great play. Dunkley, I think, is a good one. And also, I wouldn't go there, but Lachie Neale's numbers suggest he's a value play as well if that's all you can get to.
I feel like we did that last year at this time, and it didn't really come off, did it?
No, it turned to poo, actually.
Yep. So, question for you, Roy. We've got Errol versus Green.
Yeah.
In
it's a fair bit.
If you had, it's about
man,
that's about 170k.
Yeah,
it's obvious.
So it forces my hand. It's Green. It's a guy I had. The two of them I had sitting 1 and 2 in the Roland 22 for part of the preseason. Who do I think will average more the rest of the year? I think Goulden is the safer one, but because of that significant price gap, I'm going Green over Goulden.
Now, is this the part to have the chat about Green? Because there are a few people I noticed even on social last night don't touch Green. Why?
Yeah. They've obviously owned him because it has been difficult.
So this is where he started, 116 in the opening round, but then went 145 and 120, which is what got you off to a great start.
Yep,
then came back after the bye with an 88 of 72.
Yep.
Clean 100, 127, but then had his 7-point game, which is what's made him so cheap.
Yes.
Because he's almost 300k cheaper
yes.
now. Like it's
Stop rubbing it in, please,
where
Mr.
he
Dog.
got to.
Yes.
But a 98, an 83, and 91, they're not really numbers that are jumping out at you. However, where he's priced at, it's still value, even if he was pumping out 90s.
Look, I launch into that 100% if I'm a non-owner, and I don't overthink those sub-100 scores.
He hurt his ankle. Like, has that been battling? Like, has that been an issue for him?
Yeah, without a doubt.
He's now had a bye to get
He pushed through that.
recovered.
So that's 7. You can look at it two ways. Oh, he should have played through it, or it's been gutsy ever since. And I'm at it's been gutsy ever since. Now he's had a week off. The Green Machine is back.
He gets to come to Launceston.
Yep, I'm a massive.
Hawthorn.
So I'm a massive believer in. I crunch numbers and like I they heavily dictate my moves more often than not. But sometimes I just lean on the name and what I expect from that guy. You can say, no, he hasn't done anything, I'm not getting him in. But then don't be surprised when Tom Green starts putting 130s on you and you actually are stuck in a rut where you don't have the luxury to get to him.
We talk about
just get him.
We talk about a buy resetting players, and he's a guy that's coming off that
sort of
ankle.
had a fortnight off as such.
Yeah, he's had a little ankle injury.
Yeah.
Obviously missed that game. Yeah, now's the time.
Yeah.
He gets
now
a couple
is the
of
time.
like, so he's got Hawthorn, but then he goes Port.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one.
It is.
Then he goes Sydney.
Yeah.
So does he get some attention there? That Sydney game?
Oh, possibly. But once again, I'm just like, it's Tom Green. You sit him-
760K.
You sit him there and it's going to end up paying off for you.
It will.
I guess now is a good time to get him, but you probably don't have to get him either straight away if you didn't need to, because his break even is 106.
Yep.
Which is something we think he'll cover, but at that 760, like, it's just super value.
Well, I'd be expecting about a 110 this
agreed.
week. So he's fairly, priced against that, I would think.
Yep.
But I just get dudes like that because they can go bang at any given time.
Right, if you were trying to trade in the rucks, which I'm not sure you would be,
No, there's a couple of guys
who are the main ones coming off the ruck, off the buy?
that you wouldn't hate to have in your team, and that's Ex-Airy. Obviously, he's been great. I think he pumped 120 in his last prior to the buy.
He did, Brian.
And Grundy, who he's got a nice matchup this week, and he's been pumping some ceiling scores as
after
well.
what
So
Nank
he's
did.
got Conway,
Yeah.
who Nank just had a 141 against.
And it's at the SCG,
And it's at
isn't
the
it?
G,
Where
yes.
Grundy's been
Yep.
smoking it up there. So, I mean, there are people that have fallen into, the trap that I do more often than not when you muck around in the ruck
Just
department.
the ruck rotation.
And it burns trade after trade after trade. You could, if you're in a mess there, you could feel comfortable sitting one of those two guys there.
Agree.
I think.
Yep.
All right, into the forward line. I think Fisher, he'll be my number one trade target for the week coming out in the Wednesday stock take. I just think ever since we traded him out, you just think about this for a second. Ever since he wore that vest and we traded him out, he has not gone under 100, and he elevated himself to the number one defensive accumulator for North. And it is clear and it is obvious. He runs to unbelievable spots to get it, and they go out of their way and kick it to what would seem ridiculous spots to give it to him. So he's just, for that price, we talk must-haves, he's the one you'd be urgently looking at.
Yeah,
As someone who's available forward.
all day.
Yeah.
He'll be the most traded in player this week.
I think so. So he's the number one. Now, I can't believe we're still talking about this because surely everyone has him by now, but there's a stubborn cow in the room that hasn't. And now is the time, because last week you got a chance. It's the only chance you're ever going to get one back on Heeney owners. And that is when he had his buy.
Right.
Now just bite the bullet. He's had the buy.
Go on.
He gets you through the rest of the buys.
But
I don't think you're overpaying.
But
what?
he's a weasel.
No.
He's a weasel, Roy.
Bite your weasel pride.
I don't think I can. What are we? Round 13. If I've gone this long,
Yeah.
well, my ranking reflects this, just by the way. Without
Yes.
weasel number
Imagine
one,
where
Heaney.
you could be if you
You
had
said
them.
you flicked a switch. You want to climb.
Hey, I do want to climb. I do want to be better. I do want to beat dog.
Yeah. So you don't want to match. It's more about you matching one of Dog's players, is it?
It's also, I just want to get through the year, and I walk down the street and people see me and they go, Cal, I love how you're staying strong and not picking any weasels, right?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, how many of you got? He goes, all three. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
So I want to be the weasel, the non-weasel guy. I really think that is something that I can achieve, Roy.
Yeah.
Over the year.
Look, I like your stubbornness.
Yeah.
And I respect that. But I think you need to be able to pivot in this day and age of fantasy. I think you can put your arm out and say, get in here, Weasel. Wrap him up and just say, I'm sorry, and let's move forward together.
He does have a very good matchup this week.
He does.
Yes.
And he's just a jet. And you have to admit now The role is there to stay, and you can't keep saying Parker's coming back soon because he's not. He's actually not allowed to.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think Heeney's a good one. And here's a pivot for you.
Okay.
I said, no, I'm not picking up Zorko for 700 because he was too risky, 780 or 800, whatever he was. I'm pivoting and looking at paying over $1 million this week. And getting some pork on me for.
Yeah.
So there's a pivot for you.
Yeah, right.
Stupid or not? Yes, definitely stupid. But so Zorko, this is the thing with him. I still think it's a value game. I don't like the idea of overpaying for someone. Next week I will be paying over $1 million for Luke Ryan.
Yeah, really.
So that's one that you have to do. He's forcing your hand at the moment. But it was only a couple of weeks ago where Zorko was the dude that's forcing hands as well.
Yes.
So where do we sit with that? Luke Ryan is a game changer at the moment. You can't move forward without him at the minute. Zorko's coming off that 80 against Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Which was a bit ugly.
Yep.
But what is the real Zorko? It's not that, is it? It is the previous one.
Yeah. I think I'm still fighting Zorko.
Yeah. And that's very justifiable. And I'm probably there.
Because why didn't we do it?
Well, because I thought he'd be getting vests.
He got like 5 last year, 5 vests.
And we didn't see
So that's
any
changed,
sign
but
of
body was another part of it.
It was.
Has that changed?
Yeah, he's
Maybe
getting dry
it has.
needling.
But he's got the Luke Ryan role.
Well, he does.
The Luke Ryan role.
So Ryan's
No, he
gone.
doesn't.
No.
Luke Ryan role is something different.
He's Luke Ryan,
That's his own
136. 136 in his last 5.
To take
He's
those
like
marks.
he's like
Zorko's not taking 18 marks back there by himself when they kick backwards to
it's
him.
like he's Voltron. He's a mix between Ryan Clark and even Fisher.
Yep.
He does a little bit of real cheap
looks
dirty,
scabby
little
at
bit of
times.
attacking, little bit of scabby. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
He
Dom.
has to. He runs hard though.
He does.
He does work hard to get it.
100%.
Like, that's
he
one
does.
thing.
And he's
Think
very
when you-
bossy. He's the bossiest of the lot.
Yeah, I like that.
Very pointy.
Yep.
Yeah, very pointy.
All right.
So he's got to be mentioned as a target.
There isn't anyone that wouldn't have either Heeney or Zorko, but if you were splitting them, you have to go Heeney, don't
Heen,
you?
100%.
It's a lot cheaper as well.
Please.
100% the Heen there.
Then, like, do you pay for a Heeney or do you get a Fisher? You just have to go the cheap guy and Fisher, wouldn't you?
With this one. Now, Dog,
This is an interesting
I
one.
didn't realise this, but
Because Cow's in that position, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Although you would get both if you were smart.
But you're looking at nearly 200K.
so, yeah, that's where your hand is forced.
Yep.
You go with the way cheaper guy. Can we just clarify what we're talking about with the just go the cheaper one, Dog? Because some people were like
yeah.
way off with that understanding. So you go the cheaper one if you are down to splitting hairs and you cannot.
And it's almost the rookie where you might need the cash next
Yes.
week.
Yeah. So when you're comparing a rookie and like a mid-pricer or a premium, you're not just going the cheaper every time there. It's if you've factored in everything possible for your team and you can't quite split, what is the better one? That's where we say go the cheaper one.
And the other side of that too, yes, we are trying to aim more towards getting our top of the line type players now, but it is quite ballpark. You get a couple more points in that. But if you're going 100 grand's 10 points, or maybe it's 12 or whatever you wanted to call it, but that could be your difference as well.
Yes.
So like that 200K that you're saying between Fisher and Heeney, Cow, will that be 20 points between those two? Could be, I think it might be actually. You might pay for Heeney.
But I mean, the thing is,
But Fisher could be
Closer.
within
well,
that.
he keeps hitting triple figures.
Exactly.
So that's probably enough where
It's not a good. Yeah,
the
so
cheaper
that's-
guy is
yeah.
still relevant because But Heeney's a name that you would like, so that's a very tough scenario.
Or you can just be stubborn Cow.
Go Fisher and upgrade someone else. That's
Now,
what I tell people to do.
Some people aren't blessed with all the money in the bank in
Me.
the world with their work. You might have to do a bit of a downgrade. So, looking at the moment, let's start with the players that have come off their bye.
Okay.
So, McMullen, is he the only one under 300K that we're really jumping on?
I think so, if he can avoid the vest.
So he's 260K, played in opening round, scored 47 in a vest, Scow.
Yeah.
From what? 38%.
38%, like
on
point
ground.
per minute, Roy.
Yeah, it's
is
up there with
nuts.
Xeri last year.
Then
Round one.
prior to the buys in the vest against the Catters, 65 from 40% time on ground. Did you do the calculation on?
No, that's right. So 9 tackles in that and 5 CBAs. He came in for cogs. So break even of -6. He plays the 1:45 game on Saturday. So we'll find out whether or not he gets in a vest nice and early.
Yeah.
If you're desperate for a defender forward, $249K you pay for Will Dawson. So he played the 2 games prior to the buy for the Roos and played full games, but 44 and 29.
Yeah.
Not real good there.
Little heartbeat.
Geordie Payne, might he get a game? The Tassie boy that went pick 1. So he's a $200K mid
I reckon he
for the
might be in
Roos.
the mix, to be honest.
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah. And I guess they're the ones in that range that are unders.
Yeah.
That under 300K. Can you pick players that have got a buy coming up? I guess, of course, you can.
Yeah, you
But-
can.
Of course you can.
So in that range then, Clay Hall, as Roy mentioned earlier, could be an
I
option
think he'd be in the mix.
to come in. Caleb Smith, he somehow, because he only scored 10, kept his price at 200K, Gal.
Yep.
He should be in the 22.
You would
this
think
week.
so.
Has to be a massive chance.
You would think so.
Billy Dowling was the other one too that we mentioned off the back of Magoo's news as a 200K mid forward. So that Crow might be there on Thursday night for us. So they're probably key names.
I think so.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And then if you were looking that little bit higher, which some coaches will be happy to, still to have their buy is the Pies, but they do have the round 15 buy, so it's the last one.
Yep.
Charlie Dean really came out of nowhere.
Didn't he ever?
Almost, to
He
score
did.
73, considering his previous scores have all been, well, what's he had? He had a 36, a 51, and a 39.
Yeah.
And had that 73 against the Doggies.
Yeah, it was
so
good.
he might be an option. I think, a lot of people are bringing him, but at 310, so you're paying that little bit more. Worth doing?
Well, no. You go into those other guys.
Yeah, your old mate Bruce, you couldn't pay
That's right.
$356 for him now, could
No.
you?
So this is a scenario where I'm saying, like, I have no super faith in those more expensive ones. So you might as well go the cheaper ones who you've got similar faith in.
And who
Look,
knows, someone might be named for us as well.
And that's the thing. At the end of the buy, we want a completed team.
Yeah.
I've already got it after this
inverted
week.
Commas.
Yeah.
You've already got it.
I've got some space. No, after this week, I won't have a rookie on field, not someone that
And
was
that's
a rookie
where,
prior.
and then after that just turns into luxury trades.
Yeah.
So a bit of cash gen's nice,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day,
Well, you do need the cash gen, though, because you do need to do some flicking with it. Like, that's
do.
where I'm in trouble. Like, I've cashed up now, but I don't have a lot of dudes to grab cash from now.
No,
not a lot of growth happening there, dog.
Anyway, that's where it's at. The most traded in players so far ahead of round 13, Zac Fisher is number 1 at the moment. So the defender forward, a very handy little flex there with him. Errol is in there. Tom Green's in there. Toby McMullen is the little cash cow. And Charlie Dean also makes that list. So coaches are going to need to grab some cash in some way. So it might be McMullen. Let's hope he is there on Saturday for the Giants. But if we're looking at the most traded out, Harley Reid, with his suspension, is most traded out. Sam Closey, done his job as a cash cow. Darcy Wilson, Riley Bonner, might be game over for him. And then Jeremy Sharp.
Oh, there you go.
Jeremy Sharp, he is the player that is in there, and he's got a bye this week. He's probably actually the only one this week that has the bye and then the rookie to move on.
Yep.
Would that be right? So anyway, let's take that into what our trades might be for this week. I might get us started, will I?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Oh, hang on.
Say the line, Bart.
Sharp to green. That's where I'm going. All right.
That is us cheering, actually, more than him.
I
Because
am also going
God.
Reid to Fisher, Bonner to Goulden. That's because I had my $470K in the bank, and
Wow.
I've got $80K left for next week.
They are the biggest trades you've ever made.
Yeah, well done, dog.
It feels so good. Right, what are you doing, Destroy?
I am going Bonner to Zorko, Wilson to Fisher, and to get the cash to do such epic moves, I'm going Closey to McMullen.
Fife to Merritt for me, Reid to Fisher, and Thomas to McMullen.
Nice moves.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to all the coaches out there going sharp to green. Hopefully
Yes.
that's a good move for all of us.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
Alrighty, let's get into some questions. There are lots there. We want to get into them and answer them the best that they can.
So, Roy, you're saying instead of, 5 to Merritt, I should be going 5 to Heeney.
100%.
Oh, come
and
on.
I
There's your
won't
question.
sit
Number
here
one
and
question.
accept anything other than that.
Why would you be bringing in a player
Yeah.
that has a bye when you could be getting the top of the line?
Because
He's the top of the line.
I don't like weasels.
No, this one's too extreme. Like I said, I appreciate and respect the stubborn line.
Yep.
And I love that
You're as
Merritt
stubborn as they come,
is a value.
Destroy.
Yeah, exactly. And here I am rating it and respecting it. Merritt is going to be a great pick because he is value now. He sat clear number 1 in the midfield for a number of weeks there.
Yep.
But that buy that the Weasel doesn't have, and the fact the Weasel is not a drop-off from Merritt, you could argue that Weasel's better than Merritt.
Who's arguing that?
Me.
No.
Yes.
Roy.
I'm comfortable with it.
Stop.
His forward status alone
Position-wise,
puts
Cal.
him ahead of the Merritt.
Questions, dog.
All right, JS wants to know, what are the odds Dane Zorko does a hamstring after I trade him in this week?
Yeah, big.
$1.50.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is going to be... People will be sweating on that. And then imagine when it happens. I shouldn't say when. Imagine if it does
He's a
happen.
bad dog.
If it does happen, imagine when I and everyone else goes, told you so.
Oh, yeah. It'll be everywhere.
It's gonna be.
See, at the moment, it feels like everyone owns him but me.
Yeah.
If I get him in and he
it
gets
does happen.
injured,
Yep.
you
will
feel
hear
like
about
the
it.
only one owning him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need your little bat out at the moment, Destroy, because you are whacking some moles on the way through on Twitter.
Yeah,
They are coming.
I'm really good until the bye period. Then it like
Well, it's the halfway mark of the season.
yeah, and that's when I reach my threshold with moronic behaviour.
Yep.
And I've got to call it out.
Fair enough.
Yep. Good Bales. Speaking of moronic behaviour, glad not to have Goldstein ruck of the decade because he had a rest on the weekend. Be nice if Marshall could stop giving away so many free
Yes.
kicks.
Oh,
that's what's happening there, Cal.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Again.
Yep.
At least
Behave yourself,
he was a bit
Monster
better than
Marsh.
last week, though.
I'll find out the number for you. You keep going.
All right. Johnny, what's your opinion on the ruck position this year? I feel like the big 4 rucks have a lot more subpar scores this year compared to previous years. Interesting. I feel like they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They have.
Their ceiling scores have been better.
This year I feel like there's no confidence putting a C on any of them and expecting 110.
Okay, yeah, I understand that.
So
Yeah.
Max is averaging 119. Yeah. Rowan Marshall's averaging 112. English 106. X-Airy 103. Grundy 101.
Like, think about these dudes. Like X, we bought what? 70s? Yeah, like cheap.
Yeah, real
he was cheap. Max was cheap. We got him 30 points cheaper.
Yeah. So
Grundy,
they've
we
been
got
bargains.
So you look at
30
that.
points
so
cheaper. Just
Max has
about.
gone up 177. X-Airy's gone up 269. Grundy's gone up 209. The only two that have dropped out of those guys would be English has dropped 143 and Marshall's only dropped 38.
Because he went up so much.
Because he went up so much.
There is a thing though. I'm way more comfortable having a VC on them for some reason, not the C.
He's right. It's the fluctuation of the bigs and the smalls.
Yes.
Just get like a solid captain like, Meriden or something, Cow, this week.
That's why I'm doing it. Good coach.
Sam, I'm heavy on round 14 buy players. Can I move on Took to Goulden for some buy relief and more reliability?
Yes.
So this is that sideways shuffling stuff.
You can.
It is.
But you're getting a better player as well.
Yeah. So in that position, it is making your team better.
Yep.
It is fixing your buys.
Yep.
It gets a tick. I think most of us would be in that position where, so you've got all your rookies off now.
Yeah, as of after these trades.
Yeah, so I will as well. You wouldn't have many left, Cal.
Only Closey.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yep.
Look, there is a world where I could potentially go back for a week to one rookie on ground to get Luke Ryan. It's going to take an extreme shuffle.
Yeah.
So I don't have a fear of it at the moment because we're all so close to that point or at that point at the moment.
Yep.
After 3 trades for the next few weeks, they're gonna be gone anyway. So I tick trades like that. Yes,
I agree.
Mr. Gordiggs, trade out Bonner or Tom Stewart. So the simple answer is Tom Stewart. However, I think Bonner's a very likely chance not to be in the team. And Bonner wants to go soon anyway, and he's got more money on his head. You might as well roll out Tom Stewart.
I'm with you.
That's where I'm at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to move Tom Stewart to who I want, whereas I can move Bonner to who I want.
yeah.
Now,
That's fair.
agree. You know what else is not fair? He can't sit there and say he doesn't have any rookies on field and he's still got Tom Stewart. All right? Come on.
We all can't be kissed and trade him out like you did.
Oh,
When
mate. Unbelievable.
Jeez, that's a fail. Tom Stewart, and you were in that boat as
I
well.
went Tom Stewart over Sheasel.
Yeah. And I went
Roy, did you hear that?
Tom Stewart over
I
Clark.
tried to tell
Where
you not
were
to.
you?
I was right here.
You were not there enough.
You two were bullying me about Sheasel.
No, yeah, and I listened to him because he threatens me.
And I got Sheasel.
Did you?
Yes.
He did in the end.
You
Yeah,
weren't.
if Tom Stewart was Clark, I'd be in a much better position now.
Yes. Yes, you would.
You did not help me.
If Tom Stewart was Sheasel, you'd be in a much better position.
car, winning the car.
You would.
Be sitting in
You'd
it.
both be top 100.
Yep. Easy.
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 Oliver, is Houston a hold through his bye, or can he go to bring some cash in? What's Houston been doing? He hasn't been doing
No,
enough, has
too
he?
frustrating. I'd be happy for you to move him on.
Yeah.
So what has he gone? He's gone 103 in his last. So 105 in his last three.
Oh, right. Well, that's
so he's
back
been
on my
okay.
head.
He's
Yeah.
been solid.
Now he has.
But he can be swapped for someone else.
If it's like, he'd be worth a bit then now, is he? Like he's,
850 only,
but that's $100,000 if you go down to Fisher, for example.
it is, or 40k up. No.
If you used him
can-
as a cash grab to Fish or something,
Yeah, I'll tick that off.
I would.
Yeah.
Now, I might say I've got my rookies off field, but there's some teams out there a lot better than me if they're asking these questions. Is Caldwell a hold? Got a ton,
Yeah,
It has to be a hold.
yeah, but I mean,
at least for this week.
he's
but no.
he's in the barrel over the buys. Caldwell.
Yeah.
But
he's
he's
like,
still a forward that actually can score.
yeah, but imagine if you don't have Zorko, Heeney, Flanders,
That's your way of getting there.
Caldwell is in the barrel.
Agree.
What about Roy for Alex here? Is Crisp a must?
Not a must, but he's a tick as a trade target for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Archie Bonner to Tom Green is a no-brainer, right?
Correct.
You make money out of that.
You do.
Imagine thinking about that at the start
You
of the
do.
season.
You make money from that.
Yeah, great trade.
And keep in mind as well, we've still got coming up a bit later on, Rosie, who is still very cheap.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're talking about that over the weekend.
Worth
We've got a
waiting a
while to
couple.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the bye this week.
Break even 158.
Yeah, so there's a couple more weeks. Like, he might even be a post-round 15 play.
Yeah.
Mega
and
luxury.
super cheap.
Yeah.
But that's where, there's going to be times where things happen. There will be, well, it could be, do you wait for Oliver to that? I don't know, like that type of thing. Because
Potentially. There'll be someone to go to him. You always cop an injured primo or something.
There will
You'll
be
be able
someone.
to go down. You'll be able to trade out an injured
And especially
midfield premium
the
to
DPP. We'll get it.
grab
We'll get another
200
defender.
grand cash. Yeah.
We'll grab another
And
defender.
that's where you might have
Yeah,
guys just holding places, like a Caldwell, like a Soligo, these kind of guys who can go at that point.
Yeah.
You'd actually make money by going to a Rosie, and there you go.
Few have got Soligo questions, Cow, so you
Yeah.
must have tricked a few into going there with you.
Well, he racks up.
Safety in
He
numbers.
has 29 touches, I think, again.
Yeah.
Doesn't lay much tackles. After the game, he laid like 10, and I was like, well, here we go. That's his thing.
Yeah.
Can't lay a tackle, can't take a mark. So he's just getting
Yeah.
80s, but he does have Richmond this week
Surely.
without Crouchy and maybe without
With
Dawson.
an injured Dawson
So
at least.
he has access.
He does. This could be 100 this week.
So you keep him for this week, definitely.
yeah.
Jack's got this one. Who's more important to get out, Wilson or Sharp? It's an interesting question. 'cause
It is.
There is an argument to keep Sharp, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, there
Scored
is.
an 80. That's his lowest score in 5 weeks because he was averaging 99
Yeah.
in the 4 games prior to that.
Yeah, there's an argument to keep Wilson because if you went to the forwards and said
Yeah.
sort by average last 5 rounds, he would probably be in the top 8.
Yep.
Yep.
But if you have to pick one to go,
Well, what did Wilson have this week, though? Wasn't it 49 or something?
no, it was 59.
59.
With time on the bench that he doesn't usually sit.
Obviously, he's got a bye coming up later, but Sharps is this week. Yeah, it's a tough one for me to make a call on, but I think that Sharp gets you to your big dog midfielder when, unless you still need a bit of coin to go up to your Heeney if you don't have him, or your Zorko, or whoever you're trying to hit in that forward line.
He's a nice price, Wilson, and with that 59, it'll start sliding.
Yeah.
Well, it's slid this week.
Well, you're probably moving him at the bye anyway, which is only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
Who goes first, Sharp or Wilson?
I'm going Sharp.
I'd go Sharp to a proper midfielder.
Yep.
And then you get that captain option V8.
Yeah.
Or you'd think so. Is Colby McKercher back this week?
I don't reckon.
I don't think so.
He wants to be.
Yep.
Go back and listen to that podcast from last week. Great listen.
Cracking
in the podcast feed. But, yeah, he's saying the right things to come back, but
he was hopeful.
I think they'll be looking after him.
As they need to.
Yeah.
Like those things in your feet, can linger.
Yeah. You know what Colby would also be like, though?
Oh, he's chomping to go.
Rising star, just open right up.
Open the door.
Nah, they're North would like that too.
They're not. Bloody oath they would.
Bit of silverware.
Yep.
They're not going to risk him.
I wouldn't risk him. No.
I'd be very surprised if he's back this week.
Same. Because if he is, hell yeah, he's a bargain.
With some of that stuff, though. Like there's cash bonuses and things.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
So Colby's under 600k, break even 23 when he comes back.
Yeah, he's a killer.
Dominic, it ain't all doom and gloom, Calvin. I've gone from ranked 54k into 18k within the last 6 rounds.
Wow. That's sticking with it.
Well, you've done well in your last 6 rounds. You've gone from top 1,000 to 12k.
Yeah, I did.
So you can move that far that quick.
That's it.
You can move back.
You can move back that quick.
Right. Neil, is he an option for Ray here? Average 109 in the last 4.
He certainly has.
831k.
He's a bargain.
We've said no, but he's a bargain.
Yeah, he's 800. Yeah, I'm a no. We've got to have a look at that. So he's gone 100 against Hawthorn.
Yeah.
A 122 against Richmond.
Yeah.
An 80 against the Crows. A 137 against the Suns. Now, before that, 62, 75, 83, 78. Like,
I know, but he's back, isn't he?
Well, he's had some easy teams. That's what I'm saying. He's gone Hawthorn, Richmond there for his big scores.
That Richmond one was the real freebie.
The 122.
Who was the other easy one?
Hawthorn, a ton.
Which, didn't Hawthorn win that?
Yeah, I think they did.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he's a target.
Hayden has this question. Is Day still an option, Roy?
Yeah.
Got a 90 for you?
He's still cheap. Obviously, he's not as tempting as last week because there would have been a decent price rise.
Only 20k.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he's still an option then. Yep, for sure. But, so how much is he?
758.
Oh, that's still a fair bit cheaper than Neil, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so yes, he's still a bargain.
We haven't mentioned this guy coming off the bye, but LDU at 836k as a mid. So his last 3 scores, 105, 113, 114.
He does that.
Colby talked him up too.
Said he's has West Coast this week.
Look, you could.
He's a target.
Last 2 games, he's played 90% and 88% game time.
I like that from a mid.
I do as well.
God, yes, he ruins people's seasons.
He does. If he can score a 114 against Port.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know he's a scorer. I'm ticking that off.
I would tick it off.
I think the value
But there's
is too
other,
good.
like, you're saying green's cheaper.
Oh, you get definitely
Look, you're going green
first.
ahead.
Yes.
But would you, and you've got to pay for an Errol at, about 930 or
if
so.
you had the cash,
So it's 100k more.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
I think
I'm a no. I'm a no now. More I've thought about it.
But if you can only get there, if you're shopping in that range, he's probably one of the better options there.
If you already had,
because it fits the buy plan trading thing.
Say you already had Errol and Green, would you bring in Neil or LDU?
Man,
or go shopping somewhere else?
I'd go Neil.
Yep.
I think. Would you?
I would go Neil.
LDU leaves a few scars.
He does.
Henry, is it okay to still trade in a rookie who has a buy coming up?
Yeah.
So that's okay.
That's okay. I
yes,
reckon.
that's fine.
Yep.
And especially if you already looked and you've going to have 19 or 20 or something.
And the other thing is there's a chance their score won't count anyway.
Big time.
That's right. And that's even the thing. If you only have 19 or 20 in round 14 or 15,
Yeah.
hopefully it's more premiums anyway, because that's what you're building your team to be. And getting the rookie, if you had to get a round 15 rookie, let's call it Charlie Dean, and has that bye, you're not going to miss his score anyway in that round 15.
No.
You'll have a 30 and you won't even want it.
Yeah.
Well, you won't, because he's having a rest.
That's right.
There we go. That is the podcast again for another week. Check out all our content at afl.com.au/fantasy, including Fantasy Ready on Thursday for our last Thursday night game of the season.
Of the season?
Is it really?
But your Thursday nights still stay the same because we'll be there every Thursday for the rest of the year at 6:15 Australian Eastern Standard Time on afl.com.au and
the AFL Live official app.
You can catch us there doing our live show. It is, of course, in the podcast feed. We've got a few bonus podcasts floating through. So if you haven't subscribed yet or hit the favourite or like or whatever it is to get those on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, grab that or do that. So then you can hear all the bonus stuff.
That's it.
Got something special for us this week, Roy?
Lots of special stuff this week, actually. Make sure you read the, what's it called these days? Stock take. Used to be the Wednesday wash-up.
It did, yeah.
So anyway, the stock take.
You're washed up.
Well, I am washed up, but I'll tell you what, my numbers on that article aren't washed up.
Oh, is that right, Roy?
That's what I'm
They
hearing.
only match the work that you're doing with your little reel videos. Actually, that's what you can bring special this week.
Okay.
What have you got?
You have to give me some time. I put a lot of thought into how I make those quirky and so epically funny.
Just make sure there's a bang bang.
Which
Oh,
actually
bang, bang
comes back to
something.
a question I had here on one of the things. How old are you? And I wonder if that was asked as a question. How old are you? Or how old are you?
I think it's the latter.
Thanks, legends. Good luck for your round 13 trades. And Roy.
Good luck and happy trading.
Woo-hoo.